People get pretty mad about celebrities taking roles as creative directors or marketing directors at brands. But are they less qualified? Last week, there was an article in, I think it was an Ad Age, about Tony Hawk launching his own brand consultancy. If you don't know who Tony Hawk is, I don't know who the hell you are, where you've been, but he's a pro skater that's been doing it for as long as I can remember, since I was buying skateboards 30 years ago. And there was a little mini uproar, but the mini uproar was following an ongoing trend of uproars about the way we react when a celebrity or any outsider comes in and says they are going to be a brand consultant or marketing or creative director. And we start to do the, well, are they really an expert? Do they really know how to do this? And when you start thinking about it, I mean, is Tony Hawk really, are we really ready to say he's less qualified? That guy has been, for 30 years, been in licensing, product development, sponsorship. He's been on both sides of it. He's been in the X Games, so he's been in a product that has been marketed and sold. He has seen the growth of skateboarding from this tiny cottage industry. Just a couple weeks ago, Alex Bogusky of Crispin Porter Bogusky challenged Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to a wrestling match. And of course, The Rock, the famous pro wrestler, now movie star, launched his own brand agency last year. And same question, do you really believe that that guy is less qualified than the creative director or the marketing director at your agency? I mean, yeah, he may not have the scientific chops to do hardcore research or strategy, but I think he's proven out that he knows what is marketable and what sells. If you go back to his history, just like Tony Hawk, he's been around forever. And he transitioned from college football player out of football into pro wrestling, which is its own ecosystem of celebrity. Took that as high as you can go, and then transcended and broke out of that into mainstream pop culture. And is now the most bankable, biggest movie star in the world. He's been that for 3, 4, 5 years. Are we really ready to say that guy does not know how to make a product, market a product, sell a product better? We don't think he can do it. I think he's proven he knows how it works. Again, he's on the sponsorship side, he's on the spokesman side, he's on the product side, he's on the brand side. He brought, along with his crop of wrestling colleagues at that time in the late 90s, early 2000s, he brought pro wrestling out of a dark ages period, helped elevate it through WWE, changing from WWF, helped them win out over their competitors, turned them into the dominant force, and left it. It's still huge because of what he did, and he's been gone for 20 years. I mean, when it was Will.i.am and that crop of people that were coming in and taking creative director jobs at places like HP and other tech firms and Pepsi, we said, well, celebrities really have no place and it's just for show. But I think Will.i.am knows how to put together something that's bankable and marketable, something that people like, something that sells. And he's been doing that. He's had that title for a while. You know, I don't think that's a mistake. And when I start hearing the objection, well, they don't have the 10,000 hours. Well, no, The Rock does not have 10,000 hours of art direction experience or experience as an associate creative director or experience running strategy. No, he does not. But he has more than 10,000 hours in understanding how brand works and how to sell something and how to create a story that people care about. Tony Hawk, the same thing. So I want to raise this question because the other side of this same discussion, as I was preparing notes to do this video, I started thinking, wow, these are the same objections we heard. You know, there's organizations that are trying to get advertising to look less like me, right? Middle-aged white guy. And as a young white guy, I was looking up to pretty much all middle-aged white guys in the leadership, even at an agency that I worked at in Boston that was pretty well mixed. There were female leadership there at that time. And if you look at what the 3% conference is, all these organizations that are trying to make a diverse population of brains contributing to advertising, which we badly need, the objection to that has always been the same thing. It's always like, well, are they really able to do that? Is she going to be able to, is that person going to be able to understand? Yes. And what's killing the industry now is the continued heel dug in debate about who should and who shouldn't. Listen, everybody's welcome. I would say that the industry is not doing so great. I would say that if it's looking like this now and it's had middle-aged white guys at the helm for 100 years, it doesn't match what culture looks like. And it doesn't match what's happening out in the world when you go into most offices. It needs to change. It needs to evolve. We need to have more voices. Now, I just made quite a leap from people of color and women who we need more voices, more inclusion. We need to figure out how to get more of those people involved. And celebrities, it doesn't sound like it makes sense, but it's the same objections. It's the, are they really qualified? Do they really know? Do they understand this business? Do they have the 10,000? Listen, yes, they have experience that is valuable. And when I was coming up in the business as a creative, a portfolio for a creative person looked a very specific way. There were 6 campaigns, they looked like this, and then you'd have a 3/4 inch or a DVD of your TV, and maybe a couple of websites that didn't even really exist at that point. Well, creatives that I meet now have these varied experiences. They're motion graphics, and they've directed short films, and they have YouTube channels. They have these things that they make that I don't even understand. They program their own games. They create skins for characters and other properties. We have to stop trying to categorize things in a way that we say, oh yeah, no, that fits and this doesn't fit, for the industry as a whole, and save that for where it works when we're solving problems for brands and clients. The industry as a whole needs to just open up the lid and just let everybody in and just start pouring in ideas, because the way it's working now, if we keep saying, does that person really belong? It doesn't seem like there's going to be something to belong to for very long.